If you are preparing for a PwC Core Java interview as an experienced developer, then this video can save your hours of preparation. Today I will be covering 12 real Core Java interview questions. I will explain them with real world use cases, with written code, interview ready code, and so watch till the end, as at the end I will discuss with HashMap internal working, not just the internal working. There are few much tricky questions that interview can ask on the HashMap. So each and every questions I will be going through about the code, and I will be explaining you the real code, how the code flow is working. So that will literally help you to explain the answer to the interviewer using these particular examples. So let's get started with the video. So before going ahead the video, I would request you to go through Deep Developer YouTube channel, where I make videos on Java, Spring Boot, microservices, API development, and I have covered most of the videos on interview questions on Deloitte, Infosys. So you can go through this, so that will help you. So first questions that they definitely ask you as an experienced candidate, what are the main features of Java 8 and can you provide example of the each? So I already created one sample examples. So main features of the Java 8, you can explain it like a Lambda expression, functional interface, stream API, default method. So try to give an examples of each features use case on your project. So you can see like in your projects for used heavily in microservices for data processing, you are using for the stream API for the data processing, and the functional interface to provide a blueprint of a functions to improve the code readability. So like that you can explain them. So you can stream API to filter any kind of data. For example, if we have a list and we have some data, and if we want to uh, get the distinct element, so we can use like distinct from the string, and we can print. The next question is that what do you mean by functional interface? Then we will discuss about which built-in functional interface you have used. Then we will discuss write your custom functional interface. These are the tricky questions then that they definitely ask you. So let's go one by one and understand each and every question. So what do you mean by functional interface? So functional interface means the interface which will be having only one abstract method, and it's enabled the lambda expression. Means with the lambda expression we have to do the implementations of the functions. So we have created one functions, for example a function interface, for example calculator, and we need to have this at the rate functional interface annotations. So this we have used our custom interface, and so with this lambda expression we have used this implementations. So next, go to the next questions, like which built-in function interface you have used. So if we check the Java 8 features, there are a lot of built-in function interface we are using. So let's go to that and understand what are the built-in function interface we are using. So if we see this in this import statement java util.functions.predicate, if we just do control click, so so uh, in the left side corner, you can see like there are consumer functions, by functions, and then you will be getting the supplier predicates, uh, to end functions, unary operator. So those all are like functional interface. Let's get like more details on it. Like here we are using predicates, which is accepting one argument. It is that accepting one argument, and the arrow operator we are using. Then we are returning some value. What value is that? If you see, it is returning some true and false. So let's go to this predicate. So go to this predicates and see how this which method is internally it is calling. So where is the predicates? Here. If we click on it, so if we see predicate, it's have one test method which is accepting one value and returning the blue. sorry, boolean. Return true if the input argument matches, otherwise false. The t, it's a input argument. So if we see, like we have get one value and returning on boolean. So this is one of the built-in function interface. So let's go to understand like other built-in function interface like consumers. If we see consumers, it's accept like only one argument and do the operations. Then if we see, we have seen the predicates consumer. Let's check these functions. So functions is accepting one argument and returning the other arguments. So like that you can explain like different function built-in function interface that you are using. Next to go to the next question. So what is our next question is write your own custom functional interface. So if we see this functions, predicates, consumer, so supplier, those are having only one functions, and some functions they are returning some boolean, some function they are returning some values. So if we want to create our own custom function interface, what we need to do? We basically need to create one sample like blueprint, we can say, of the functions. So let's go on and create our custom functional interface. So for example, uh, it is our custom functional interface. Like we have named it as a greeting like functions supplier. So we have named it as an greetings, and there is one greet method which will be accepting one value and returning the void. You can do whatever the operation you want. Just I made it like a greet method. So here now we are accepting one name and we are printing this value. How this we are calling? This we are calling by like greet methods and passing this value. So this value will be come here, and we are using lambda expression to print the hello PwC. So like that you can use the concept of built-in custom functional interface. So if you're still watching the video, I request you to go through the other videos as well, so where I have covered like real life examples use cases with uh, Spring Boot. So you can go through those. I will provide on the descriptions. You can go through this Deloitte interview questions, Infosys interview questions. So that will be help you more on your interview preparation. Let's start with the fifth question. So how can I use Stream API to find the distinct department name from an array list that contains employee names, salary, and departments? So if we see, so we need to find the distinct department name. So from the array list. So let's go through the questions first. So there will be employee class will be there. Employee class have the AM's name, salary, and the department. Okay, and maybe one employee belongs to HR department, second employee belongs to HR department, third employee belongs to IT department. So distinct department means HR and IT. So that you need to print. So using the lambda expressions. So let's go to this example to understand much about it. So as I was saying, this name and department is there. So basically we need to use that stream API. So they will definitely ask this type of scenarios based this type of example based question. They will just give this as employee. So then they will tell like print out the distinct department. So you have this employee that till now this is clear. This employee object or the employee list is storing the employees. So one object, two object, three object we have created. So here we will be using the stream. So employee dot stream. Then it is going through each and employee. So each from the each and employee will be getting this only the department. So map employee arrow. This is the one object. This is the one object. For example, this is the first object. Then first object we are getting this IT department. So from the first object we get IT, from the second object we get HR, from the third object it get IT. So if you use this dot distinct, then it will be providing the distinct, we can say distinct department name. So here IT and HR, these are distinct. If we go to this, there are a lot of intermediate functions are there. So distinct, sort, and peak, the like map, multi-double. So you can go through this if you have time. So because it is one of the sample questions, like they can ask like any questions. It a flat map, then map method we have used, and then map to double, map to long. So filter. So this kind of maybe it required for your uh, interview depending upon the what type of questions they ask. But this is the standard questions. I have got this from like Glassdoor and Amazon Box. So these are like standard questions they definitely ask to the candidate. Let's move with the next questions. Then they will provide a coding question again, like coding example using flat map to collect the distinct city from the list of employees where each employee has a list of cities. So it is a little bit tweaked questions. So let's check the example so that we can get more from it. So as I was saying you earlier about this flat map and the distinct stream, those are like intermediate operation. So if we see, for example, this is one employee city object is there. So it is it's have one cities object, and for example there is a one employee cities, two employee cities. So it's one employee is saying that they are staying have the houses in Delhi locations and the Mumbai location, and the second employee is saying that they have the houses in Mumbai location and the Bangalore locations. So if we see from this particular code, I need to get print the like distinct locations. Distinct location, what is the Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore? These are the distinct locations. So similarly, we can use this stream and here this flat map. Previously, if we see, we are using the map and we are doing this employee dot what is that city, like that we are doing. If we see the previous employee dot department, here we are using department. It is the map. Why map we have used? Because this only one object is there. So if we see this flat map examples, so it's have like the cities, and it have like lot of employee. The cities is an list. If you see cities is an list. So here we are doing employee dot cities and dot stream. So we'll get the list of cities. So with this we will be getting the Delhi, Mumbai. So when we do flat map, we will get Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore. So out of four, we using the distinct. So distinct means Delhi, Mumbai, and Bangalore. So these three cities we will be getting, and we will be printing this these three cities. Let's move to the next question. Okay, and also they can ask like what is the difference between flat and flat map. So you can clearly explain that, because here we are using like only one department, and when we are considering about the list, then we are using flat map. So you can explain them. Let's move to the next questions. So different ways of creating thread and which approach is better. So there are basically two three ways of creating threads. So we can actually like extend like thread class or implement a runnable interface. The best approach is using like executor service. So if you see used in asynchronous process and background job. So if we see this executor service, we have used a new thread pool. Here we are just creating the two thread. Here we are not managing anything, so it will be done everything by like executor service, and we are using this submit method, and it will not return anything. So it will be printing something, and we are shutting the thread. So if you check what are the different ways of creating the thread, so one is the new fixed thread pool. If we click on it, so one is a new fixed thread pool, and if we see this new singleton and a new single thread pool, and new single thread executor, new cache thread pool. So these are the different ways of creating the thread. So you can go through better it, you can go through each little bit implementation, so you will get more idea, because this as an experienced developer they can expect more from you. So let's move to the next questions, like how to create immutable object in Java. So we know this string is immutable, and all the wrapper classes, boolean, and integer, double, so all are like immutable objects. So how to create our custom immutable object? So I have created one like custom immutable object. So what I need to do, you need to first make this class as final, so that no one can like extend that class, and all the methods all the fields it should be final and the private, and the values initialization will be done within this constructor, and there will be no setter method, only the getter method to get the value. So if we see we have created this immutable employee Subhadeep dot get name. So this immutable employee is the immutable object. So again, if I try to assign the values dot employee dot set name, because set is not method. If we do employee dot name, so name cannot be accessed because it is private and final. So this is immutable. Again, we need to create a new object if we want to pass the value. Let's go to the next questions. Coding example to implement a singleton design pattern. So this is one of the standard questions. They will definitely ask you to implement like singleton design patterns, and they will ask you a little bit about like where you are using the singleton design patterns in your projects. So this kind of questions they can ask. So by doing singleton means you ensure that only one instance of the class is created and it is accessed globally within the applications, right? So mainly we have used to when we are like using logging something, like we have this application configurations, database connections, cache manager. So those kind of like logging app configuration, we only have like one instance, right? We don't want to create the multiple instance. So we can use on those kind of scenario how to create this singleton class. So we can make this constructor as the private, and there will be you can create one like helper class, sorry, helper constructor, and here you can pass this once employee object. So only one object is created if you see, and this instance how we are accessing from this get instance, and here it is public and static. And if we see, we have created the two instance, example.get instance, example.get instance, and both this instance 1 and instance 2 are same. So verify only one instance is created. So both those will be pointing to the same memory location. So this is the single instance. So then what is the difference between fail first and fail safe iterator? So that is also one of the like common questions, but they just want to know a little bit about the theoretical part. So fail fast iterator shows concurrent modification exceptions, and fail safe iterator work on the copied data. So we can use this in the concurrent system. So if we use we have one list and we have added this Java on the list, and if we use that list dot iterator, and it is called the fail first, and in this safe list, and we are creating this copy on write array list, and this if we want to add, we can add this. What difference between copy on array list and the array list? So So if we see copy on ArrayList is an thread shape and fail shape in the project used in the read heavy concurrent applications. So you can go if you click on this like go to this add method list.add. See, if we use this synchronize block and we are locking it. So if we use this um, ArrayList.add, in case of the ArrayList, not the copied on ArrayList, there is no synchronize block. Then the final question is that explain the HashMap internal working and how get method is work. So HashMap internal working, like as an experienced developer, everyone must be aware about that. But there is a little bit tweak in that because they, as an experienced developer, they did not just ask like HashMap internal. Okay, they will ask like how this put map work internally and how this get map work internally, and you can write a custom code to implement HashMap put method or the get method. So like that. So when we are using like put method, right? So if we click on this put method and it is accepting one key and the value, right? So so key is accepting, and if you check the implementation, just a minute, I will be showing the implementation also, like where it is. We are using HashMap, right? Yeah, one key as well as the value. So if we check the as method and it is pass as not generated, right? And how those are storing? If we check this put value method. So internally they are calling this nodes of key and value. So internally they are storing the key and value, and they are checking for the each node. They are resizing, and for the they have created a new node. If you see new node of key and value, like that internally it is using the node. And they sometimes they can ask, like, if we use uh, put map.put null as an key, then where it is storing. So null as an key, it will be storing in the first indexes. Like that you can explain them. This is the internal working of put method. So if you check the get method again, it will be creating the hash code. From the hash code it will be finding the index, then going on to the bucket, and then it will be finding out the value. If you check hash map, so again if you see node, and so they are checking the, like, um, key is checking. So if it is the key is null, so if the key is null, then it will be returning to that, will be returning the value for that. Else it is be like get node from the table, and from that it is internally like managing the table, right? If you go to this table, so it is having the node. So like that it will be getting the values using the get method. So I'm done. So if you have any questions, you can ask on the comment sections. And in the coming videos, I'll be covering like Spring Boot interview questions, especially asked on the PwC company. So similarly, I'll be try to explain you like real life scenarios as well, and to give the more context. So again, I will suggest you to watch the other videos where I have explained like interview questions for the Deloitte and Infosys. So you can go through this. So thank you for watching the video.